Yo, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm gonna get call hello Yahweh. I'm on Shayak Yahweh. All right, so I got this article. Is S394 to provide the regulations of payment, stable coin, and for other purposes. Right? It says in the Senate of the United States. It says Mr. Hagerty for himself, Mr. Scott of South Carolina, Mrs. Gillibrand, and Mrs. Loomis introduced the following bill, which was read twice and referred to the Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. A bill to, to provide the regulations of payment, stablecoins, and for other purposes. Then it says in the article, the Senate passed the Genius Act this week, establishing a regular a regulatory framework for stablecoins. Stablecoins have risen in popularity and could dramatically transform the payment space. And if you keep going on this article, it's literally explaining how it's paving the way for digital currency. Right? We see all kind of different acts, that they've been passing, and they always have some kind of fucking diversion going on as they pass in these kind of acts, because these acts is literally going to change your life. And guess what? They passed this act in the middle of this so-called war that they're going through. And they did the same thing when Russia and Ukraine. When Russia and Ukraine was going to war, they created bills, executive orders, and passed them while everybody focusing on the war, choosing whose side you want to be on, right? They passing draconian measured legislation, laws that is going to be detrimental to your whole life, because it's no more lending, family members money, no more helping out a friend, because it's all going to be digital currency. It's all going to be, inside of a chip, inside of your forehead or inside of your hand. So this is them cutting out the middleman of you going to go give your mechanic, cash because the Hibden's tires is too much. All of that shit is going to come to naught. And you're going to have to completely deal with Fortune 500 companies, right? But at the end of the day, this is what we've been waiting on. This is Revelations chapter 13 and 16, in the working, in the making. And this is why we always, we tell people other stuff got to happen also. Now, one of the biggest prophecies we are waiting on is World War III, because we understand, according to prophecy, they're going to be gathered in Revelation 16. They're going to be gathered to all the nations' armies. It's going to be gathered to go fight in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? So we do know that that's a major prophecy, and Yahweh Shai going to crack the sky open. He's going to annihilate those armies. But we have other prophecies that has to happen too. And it's not a coincidence. I mean, it's easily understood that they have to distract you in order to pass bills like this, like what we read about this stable coin. It says the act paves the way for banks, fintech firms, and big name retailers to issue their own stable coins or weave them into their current payment platforms. So you see what it noted. You notice what it mentioned. It said that banks, firm techs, fintech firms, and big retail companies, Fortune 500 companies, this is all they interested in getting on board in this market, this MOTV. Everybody else, they're gonna have to kiss their company goodbye. All these mom and pop stores, they've been drowning them out. And if you don't know, why do you think there's a Quick Trip on almost every corner? It's to drown out the hood stores. It's to drown out all these other stores. That's why they do that, to drown them out. And that's all Fortune 500 companies. That's how they operate, man. They want to get rid of all the smaller companies and so that they can issue. And bro, it's all about the mark of the beast. When Esau understands the kind of uproar and the kind of shit that's going to be going on, because they have to put this in people's body. People are already scared of the needles. People are already in a rebellious state. People already got guns. They already in a mentality that they going out blazing glory. They understand that. So they're gonna do something next, Lord willing, that's really gonna be detrimental. Get hit by another nation. If you ask me, they all in cahoots, man. It's all planned. It's all a plan so that they can incorporate this one world government, right? One world government. But these people that's ruling, that's doing this, they're gonna lose grip of society, man. They're gonna lose grip of power. It tells you that in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, real quick. In 2nd Ezra chapter 15, it tells you, I believe it's verse 17 or 19. But in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and uh, one second. Okay, 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 18. It says, beginning of sorrow, great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So it's going to be a time frame where even the powers that be as ruling the earth, they're going to be afraid. They're going to lose grip of society. It's not going to happen the way that they planned, according to Job chapter 5. You read Job chapter 5 and verse 12, it says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. We know the Bible talks in code. The crafty is talking about the people that's ruling the earth, how they're crafty and oppressing people, how they coming up with Agenda 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. These are the crafty. So it said that the Lord is going to disappoint the devices, their techniques, their tools of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to get a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of people got with this mark of the beast system. You know, and a lot of them going to be family members and friends simply because they got money in the bank that they want to hold on to, which I believe that they're going to erase everybody's bank accounts. That's what they was doing in 2020 with Silicon Valley and a couple of other banks. It was testing the people by real life events, though, testing the people. And we sitting back watching it, and a lot of people looking at it like it ain't shit. But that's to your own demise. Let me keep going. So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. The word enterprise goes back to success. You being successful. So it says the Most High is going to disappoint your hands, whatever you set out to do, so that you cannot be successful in whatever you set out to do. And we see the plans of the Edomites. We see the plans of the global elites. Their plan is to microchip everyone. That's their plan. Microchip everyone and be your guide. Know what you're thinking. Know where you're at all times. Deduct money from you, right? Hey, they probably even got a kill switch on that MOTB. You never know. But this is their plan, and this is what all it is. All these people dying, 9/11, right? All of these so-called major events, it all goes back to them trying to chip you. They want to chip you. Right? So it says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. So the things that they're doing right now, allowing people to have guns legally, these kind of things, he's going to use that to where the people are against the government and the government are against the people. And it's going to be war. And he's going to use each party to destroy each other. And he's going to, Lord willing, we're going to slip through the cracks, man. We're going to be sitting back watching this happen as we're watching it happen now. It says, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. right? You're going to hit your head when you realize that your counsel isn't going to work. This is when they're going to try to go run and hide in those bunkers, but they ain't going to, it's not happening. Well, they are going to get to the bunkers, but it tells you, when you read in Isaiah, in Isaiah chapter 24 and 22, it says, I'm going to start at 21, get a little context. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. See that? So this is talking about the kings that's ruling as of now. The faces of these kings. Putin, we see him as a face. Kim Jong-un, the Zhao Qi, China's president, King Trump, King of Jordan. You see, I forgot Ukraine's president name, but we see these men, they're the face. They're the kings of their country. And the Lord said he's going to punish them, and he's going to punish their people too. It says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. See that? We're going to be throwing them in pits, and we're going to be coming to collect them not too long afterwards. But you have to understand, with these draconian measures they pass and these executive orders, they understand how it's going to cause the world to go into chaos. Not wanting to take this chip. They understand that. So they have to come up with an even smarter method. And as you can see by the things that they doing, planned famines, mandatory famines and things like that, they planning on starving you out. I believe that, power grid, the power going off, reality things that we can see that they could use as a crutch to make people bow down to their authority. They have to make it detrimental where the people come bending so that they can have this solution for them. Problem, reaction, solution. We go over that all the time. But a lot of our people are going to take it, man. It's going to be people that you never thought would take it. It's going to take it. But we have to, it tells you in Revelations chapter 2, it says, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. And we're talking about anything, bro. We're talking about losing your home. And you might even be separated from your children. You might be separated from your wife and children. You might lose your home. Your bank account might go deleted, and you probably got like 20 bands in that thing. And it just come up, it's just missing. It's gone now. A plethora of different things can happen, man. But you're not supposed to fear the things which we're going to suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So that's another one too. Us being thrown into prison, FEMA camps, that ye may be tried. So that's what it's all about, us being tried. It's all about the ultimate test. And we have to keep our minds on this, because the more you don't read and study, pray, and fast, the more you're going to get farther and farther away from the ultimate goal, and that's to endure unto the end. And when you go into the word endure to the end, it means to endure under misfortunes and trials, holding fast your integrity to Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Go look up the word endure in the blue letter, and that's what it's going to tell you. That's the ultimate goal, man, enduring it to the end, no matter what you put through, no matter what you're faced with. But it says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. That's the ultimate goal. Be faithful unto death. Because that death could be just a test death, or it could be a real death. No matter what, we're supposed to hold fast our integrity until the end. Right? The same way we read about Eleazar and not eating pork. He died. He held fast his integrity. Or the woman and her 6 sons. They held fast their integrity. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they held fast their integrity. Yahweh Shah HaMashiach held fast his integrity. Philip, Thomas, and all the other early church fathers, Polycarp, Clement, all of these different men held fast their integrity. We're no different. We have to do the same thing. You got to get used to suffering. You got to get used to suffering instead of trying to find an escape route out of it every single time. Because I don't give a damn how righteous you are. We're all about to go through something. We're about to go through something. And we got to be ready for it, man. And when I say ready, I'm not talking about physically. I'm not talking about no damn bug out bag. I'm not talking about none of those kind of things. I'm talking about mentally ready for it. You got to be mentally ready for what's about to happen, spiritually ready for what's about to happen. Like in the book of Eli, man, that he kept his head straight. He went in one direction. Spiritually, that's how we supposed to be. No matter what happened, we got to stay focused and be going in that one direction, the direction we've been heading to. You can't turn around and go the other way because you see this big ass ocean, you know what I'm saying? And then after the ocean, you see a land and it's on fire back there, man. If that's where the kingdom of heaven is, hey, we got to go there. Let me get that right quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 7. It says, there is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Right? And this is talking about our reality. When you read Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 and verse 14, this dangerous place, it's talking about when you wake up, when you go outside, when you feel like you're in the most secure place. Bro, you can be in Walmart and you thinking, is this the day a shooter is going to come into the building? And this is Sirach 14 and 14. Or Salakia, not 14 and 14. 13 and 13. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in the peril of thy overthrowing. Each and every day we walk in the word peril goes back to dangers. The same dangers we just read in 2nd Ezra chapter 7. It says, observe. That means, you know what observe means. Pay close attention to. Pay close attention to and take heed, for thou walkest in the peril of our overthrowing. Each and every day there's something that can destroy us. Whether it's our own self and what we eat, right? Whether it's our own actions, whether it's a woman, whether it's you pursuing money. A lot of people didn't die pursuing women and money. A lot of people didn't die not taking care of themselves. We walk in the peril of our overthrowing each and every day. Each and every day when you open, hey, you don't even gotta wake up. You can be asleep and you're having a nightmare. It says, when thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. So that don't make no sense. If you're physically already asleep, if this is talking about physical, if you're physical already asleep, how is he going to tell you to wake up? He's written this down on paper thousands of years ago. This is talking about you spiritually. This is talking about you spiritually being asleep, man. You spiritually being asleep. You got to wake up from thinking that we're supposed to be prospering on this side. Worrying about a career, worrying about just chasing the bag. Wake up from those things, because this shit is all about to be dissolved. And a lot of people spend a lot of fucking money, a lot of time getting money, and it's taking away time from the ministry. It's taking away a lot of time from the ministry. So it says back in 2nd Ezra chapter 7, it says, I'm going to start over. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and it's full of all good things, which is the kingdom of heaven. You see this big ass field, and you see this glorious kingdom of heaven made out of carbuncle, sapphire, onyx, diamonds, gold, all of these different rubies and diamonds. You see this big mansion like kingdom is built from. You see it. You see it afar off. But there's dangers you have to go through to get to that kingdom. But it looks so beautiful. You like in your mind, I gotta get to it. I gotta make it to that whatever that is over there. Because where I'm standing right now is a fucking desert. There's no water here. There's no food. There's no nothing. Bro, you can make it, bro. We all, like, everybody that's in the knowledge of the truth right now, a lot of the times people fall out the truth is because they don't fucking stay diligent. They mind start worrying about other shit. I'm talking to you right now. You can make it to the kingdom of heaven. We all can. Stop worrying about what the next brother is doing unless you're trying to improve yourself. Unless you're trying to use him to improve yourself. Stop looking at another brother because he got hundreds of videos posted online that, you see, because I used to think like this. I'm going to say this. I used to see so many, this is before I started actually teaching. I used to see so many camps and so many brothers in these camps, and they all got their own YouTube page, individual YouTube page. And it's like, damn, like, I'm not needed. Like, and I don't see myself being a part of the elect. I don't, you still mind get to thinking like that. But Yahweh Shah told us in John chapter 4, man. This is John chapter 4 and verse 1 second. So when you go to Matthew chapter 9 and verse 37, it says, then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. You look at all these teachers, and that still ain't enough because our people as the sand of the sea. You can be that one individual brother, that reach your household because there's people in your family that need to hear this truth. And you can be that brick. Your friends, you the only one that's close to your friends and know how to deal with them. So that's for you. Hey, women too. That goes for the women too. You know her. You know how to deal with her. You know what she don't like. You know how to say certain things to her. So you're supposed to use that to your advantage. This ain't about you. This is about the nation of Israel. That's what it's about. That shit is sickening when individuals think it's all about them. And you can tell by certain people, like, they'll depart from you simply because they don't like something you doing. And they'll depart from you and they'll stop teaching the word. They'll stop fucking teaching just because they don't like the way you handle the situation. So going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 7, and this is all going back to our reality of stable coin, stable coin, the mark of the beast, World War III, all of that. These are the dangers that we are soon to be, to walk past. It says the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water. There's only one path. Only you can walk this one. It's only one path. There's no other options. You can't go to another religion and think you're going to serve God that way. By now, the world knows what the Hebrew Israelites is saying is true. Now, you can try to say, I don't like the way they carry themselves. I don't like the way they talk. I don't like them. I don't like their doctrine. That's cool. But what did Yahweh Shah tell you to do? If we're Pharisees like y'all say, Yahweh Shah told you in Matthew 23 and 1, he told you to do what we instructed you to do, but don't do what we do. Fine. Do what we told you to do, man, and repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's what we're telling you to do. Repent and believe the gospel. That's all we're telling you to do. And we try to explain that to people, but they like, nah, I don't like you because I don't like that doctrine that heathens is going to be destroyed. I don't like that doctrine. Whatever. So keep going. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could both, but one man go there at once. Meaning ain't nobody gonna be able to walk this path for you. Ain't nobody gonna be able to hold your hand and walk in front of you, and you just following in their footsteps. It's not happening that way. Now you can get advice. Somebody can say, hey, turn right or go straight or jump over that rock, or they can do that. But that's as far as they're going. This is your walk, your journey. Your hell is custom made. That's why a lot of the times brothers don't have answers for what you're going through. Because your hell is custom made. The hell that was customized for you is only for you to go through. It's for you. So it says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? You see that? So everything that we watching play out, we gotta go through it. This mark of the beast is you ain't gonna be able to go in a fucking Walmart or Kroger's or Winco or whatever grocery store you have, Reese's, whatever grocery store, or Quick Trip or Maverick, whatever store you have, you're not gonna be able to go in there and buy and sell. So what are you gonna do? Because that's what you're used to doing. That's what you're used to doing. So what you gonna do? And this is when we tell you we're gonna depend on the Lord. Now everybody says that, but the Lord already says, let me get it. This is Job 35:12. It says, there they cry, but none giveth answer because of the pride of evil men. Surely God will not hear vanity, neither will the Almighty regard it. You see that? The Most High God is not trying to hear those vain ass prayers. Speaking of vain prayers, Isaiah chapter 29, Isaiah chapter 28. So I can Proverbs. I think it's Proverbs. No, it is Isaiah. It is Proverbs. Proverbs 28:9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination, man. But it tells you in Sirach 35:16, when you serve the Lord, it says, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach into the clouds. You see the difference? The difference is simply you obeying the law and hearing the law, taking heed to the law and obeying it. That's the only way the Most High God gonna hear you. So I'm gonna read both of them again. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Sirach 35:16. He that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. This ain't no time to be trying to figure out which doctrine you want to follow. This is the time where you should already be knowing who's telling the truth and who's not. Who's teaching you about the prophecies that's coming to pass? Who's telling you to prepare yourself for Jacob's trouble? Because I see a whole bunch of niggas just trying to show how much wisdom they got. That's all niggas do, is just trying to show how much fucking wisdom they got. Niggas ain't warning you for the wrath to come. They not warning you. They not instilling the Most High God's fear in you by showing you what's coming to pass. They just want to show you how smart they got, how much studying they've been doing, the things that they unlocked. That's all niggas want to do. Now, of course, wisdom is incorporated in that. You have to have wisdom in order, when we're dealing with prophecy, when we're dealing with all these different things, we gotta have wisdom. But what I'm saying is, When niggas be doing their videos, all you hear is niggas doing videos just trying to show how wise they are. That's all you hear. Right? And here it is. You know, people all on Facebook, bro. I see people that ain't did the work in years. I see women that ain't put on a dress in years. I see evil ass people on Facebook talking about World War III is popping off. Like this shit don't, like this ain't your demise here. When you go to Sirach chapter 25, right? It says, Sirach chapter 26 and 28, there be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and a men of understanding that are not set by. Those are the two things that grieve his heart. The third make him angry. This is the third. And one that returneth from righteousness to sin. That maketh us all angry. So it's rightfully so that we speak about these situations because it makes us mad. It's like, nigga, we out here doing the work. Week in and week out in the hot ass heat, in the cold winter, right? And in between those elements, however the weather want to be, however the Lord want it to be, we out here busting our ass doing sit downs, canceling movie nights, canceling certain things. You can't go to certain events because you got to go out to the highways and byways because you got to do a sit down. But you got people that know the truth, been in the truth for years, and then they fell out, and they having the time of their life, and they trying to come out the woodworks, out the blue, come out of nowhere talking about some World War III, talking about the Bible. I told y'all the Bible spoke about this. We don't look so crazy now, do we? Men and women I see doing that shit. And it make me angry, just like it makes Sirach angry. It says the Lord prepares such an one for the sword. And that's why a lot of us stay diligent in this truth, because we don't want to see that look. That sword ain't always a literal sword. It ain't always a gun. Esau uses the sword of diseases and famine too. Animals too. He uses chemical warfare, chemical warfare, bio warfare. He uses different warfares. He put diseases in fucking mosquitoes to wage war against you. He putting diseases in your food. Man, they got technology out right now where you can it'd be you and a heathen. You can take a bite of that apple and they can take a bite of that same fucking apple on the other side of that apple, and it'll give you a disease and it won't even affect him. They got DNA targeted disease, man. This is how much of the devil he is, and you thinking he ain't about to come after us and our families, especially teaching against him, his nation? Look how he's doing other nations for not obeying him. Bro, he's coming after us. And we got to be ready for it. And the only way that we can get ready for it is by joining forces, not even joining forces, obeying the Most High God, Yahweh, through his son, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. That's the only way we going to make it through this. Like we just read in 2 Ezra 7 about that path. But that stable coin, it all goes back to Revelation chapter 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Ain't nobody gonna be exempt from this. Your favorite celebrity not gonna be exempt from this. Homeless people are not gonna be exempt from this. Niggas in prison are not gonna be exempt from this. People that's your everyday citizens are not gonna be exempt from this. That's why it says all, small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their forehead. The whole world knows through the Hebrew Israelites that this word mark goes back to charagma. Greek word charagma. And it means an incision. This Greek word means a physical stamp that's going to be on you. And we ain't talking about no tattoo. But it does give the analogy of branding you like a horse. But this is going to be far more greater, man. Straight up. This is what we waiting on. And it says, and that no man might buy or sell save. And the word save goes back to accept. So, and that no man might buy or sell except he that had the mark of the, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, which is all incorporated together. Right? You worship in this society, you being a part of this society, all the way up to ultimately you just taking the mark because you believe in the society. You believe America can bounce back. You praying for America. I got a neighbor over there by my house right now, and they got a big fat ass sign out there in their front yard, and it says "Pray for America." Yeah, we praying for America, for the downfall of America. That's what we praying for. You can't do all these atrocities and then thinking people about to just pray for you now. God has done way too much damage to every nation under the sun, and you got to pay for it, man. But dealing with this stable coin, this is what I keep saying, stable coin. Stable coin, we're waiting on this mark of the beast to come to pass. I'm saying all that to say again, World War III is one of the biggest prophecies, yes. But you have the mark of the beast is another prophecy that we're waiting to come to pass. You have Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation period. Those are other prophecies that we are waiting to come to pass. It's not all about WW3. It's about those other three things too. And it's other prophecies too that got to come to pass. So when you read and you understand that you gonna understand that. You see everybody on Facebook talking about World War III, World War III, World War III, World War III. Bro, that's cool. Okay, now what? Now that Iran and Israel planned on doing a ceasefire, which you out of your mind if you thinking Iran is just gonna stop, they just gonna stop firing for no nigga. They don't trust Israel or America. They ain't about to just stop firing. They might for the moment, and let's say they did for the moment. Let's just deal with that. You was just bragging about World War III and trying to make it seem like when this get to popping, we out of here. But they stopped. Now what? Now what? You got to go back to the drawing board now. That's not the only prophecy we're waiting on to come to pass, man. There's other prophecies to come to pass. But going back to my other point, Iran is, man, come on, bro. Iran is not about to just stop. They might stop for the moment, but they're planning something detrimental. If you ask me, I believe Iran is going to be the first nation to shoot their missiles off at America, and then everybody else is going to shoot their missiles off. And it tells you that in Revelation chapter 17 and I think it's 18. Yep. It says 18 and 9, and the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. When you go into the word bewail, it goes back to grief and pity. So they're gonna nuke America, and then they're gonna be immediately regretful of it. So it says bewail, expression, great regret, disappointment, or bitterness over something. Lament, bemoan, mourn. So it says shall bewail her. So they're going to be an instant regret after they nuke America. And lament for her. Lament is mourn, cry. We just read that. It's an interchangeable word with bewail. It says, and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So when America is completely on fire, they're going to realize how important America was to them. But guess what? This goes 2 chapters back in Revelation 16, starting at verse 12. It tell you that the Lord is going to put spirits on them that looks like unclean frogs that cause them to do what they do. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon. Now let's get the word alas. It says an expression of grief, pity, or concern. So these nations are going to nuke the hell out of America, and then they're going to be pitiful. They're going to feel pity. They're going to be in grief, great regret for doing it. That shows you the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. So it says that mighty city for 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. Right, and then it goes into all the things that they got from America, and it had slaves and souls of men. Those were two things incorporated in the scripture where it talks about all of the things where there was a lot of import and export. And I like to think of deportation, slaves of men, straight up. But Lord willing, you was edified, man. Man, my drop, obviously. Lord willing, you was edified, even if it's just a little bit. There's more prophecies that kind of got that has to come to pass before we get out of here, man. Shalom.